The renaissance of traditional animation came around the 1990s, but it was shortly killed off by Pixar's 1995 Toy Story. In that time frame for the animation renaissance, there were many new companies, plenty of them being from Don Bluth, and we got some amazing looking films from it. But because of the rise of CG animated films, studios either had to follow suit or shut down production altogether, after realizing they wouldn't be able to make a profit off of it anymore. There's been a few attempts by Disney to bring it back, but it didn't really go anywhere. It seemed like CG would dominate the animation industry forever. The only time we really saw 2D animation succeed was in cartoon TV shows like Family Guy and The Simpsons and Rick and Morty. And it was like that for a while until the release of Paperman, which was a short film made by Disney that mixes both 2D and 3D animation together to make something absolutely beautiful. It didn't really last long though and faded away, but it did spark an idea for many animators later down the line. Well, if Paperman didn't revive 2D animation, then what did? Well, surprisingly, it was a CG film. That's right, we're talking about Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse was a movie in 2018 that, again, was made with CG, but it also had 2D elements to give it a comic book feel. I mean, look at this! It uses several techniques with lighting and shading marks. They do that misprinting look that happens with comics sometimes for either a blur or a dissolution effect. Sometimes there are 2D animations drawn over it. It won several well-deserved awards and is beloved by a huge fan base. People were really excited about 2D animation again and wanted to see more of it. There are a great amount of 2D animated films that came out just this year, including an incredible little film by scum animation called Klaus. The guy who made it Sergio Pablos, says he wanted to pick up where 2D animation left off, and as a result, he made something absolutely stunning. It took him a while to get greenlit, as many places rejected an idea, until Netflix finally agreed and greenlighted it. Not to be mean or anything, but what doesn't Netflix greenlit? But I'm still very happy that they did, because as a result, you got this amazing film. And it's weird to think about that this person, who was also an executive producer for Despicable Me, could also make something as beautiful as this. Which is by no means shade. Despicable Me is actually the only Illumination film that I find semi-enjoyable. It's not award-winning enjoyable, but it's still enjoyable. This guy also worked on Treasure Planet, which if you don't know what that is, it's a great movie made by Disney, but because of bad marking, and it was a 2D animation made in 2002, no one really cared about it, and completely flopped at the box office. The second renaissance of 2D animation is here, or at least it's beginning to start at least. But that isn't to say that 3D animated movies aren't still an overwhelming medium in today's age. But now, 2D animation has at least a chance to compete with it. Bigger companies like Disney have been focusing on beating a dead horse of live-action reboots. Meanwhile, Pixar has been ruining their reputation ever since the release of Dinosaurs. I'm really excited to see where this is going to go. There's been an announcement for a movie of Dragon's Lair, made by Don Bluth, which was a game in the 1990s that uses traditional animation for the gameplay of, instead of this.
Well, that makes me happy, because it makes me feel like you and I have a connection.
Do we?
That we both love. Fuck this game, turn it off!
No.
Don Bluth wanted to make an indie film with traditional animation for Dragon's Lair. On that note, there will be a sequel for Spider-Verse coming in 2022, and I'm really excited to see it. There's only a minute-long promo, but it introduces 2 new characters. And, if it doesn't have Spider-Punk, I will give it 0 stars.